Welcome to the travel guide of Vienna. Vienna is the kind of city a fanciful child might draw. A whirl of insanely lavish palaces, folly-filled parks, horse-drawn carriages clip-clopping along stately boulevards, and gilded, chandelier-lit concert halls and coffee houses as opulent as can be. Nowhere can touch the Austrian capital for all-out grandeur, but as such it can seem standoffish. A film set of a city that aims to impress rather than endear. Wandering Vienna's historic heart, the inner Stadt, the 21st century can feel like a distant dream. But as with all good fairy tales, there's a twist. The Vienna of classical music and Habsburg razzmatazz is surprisingly edgy when you deviate from the usual tourist trail. Dive into under-the-radar neighborhoods, linger in backstreet cafes, feel the summer vibes on Danube Island, nose around farmers markets, or hook onto socially minded tours, and you'll discover a far more progressive side to the city. It's this ability to waltz between past and present, urban and outdoors, that places Vienna firmly at the top of the charts time, and again when it comes to the world's greenest and most livable, lovable cities. The 13th century Hofburg Imperial Palace in the center of Vienna is the largest palace complex in the world. As a former residence and former center of power of the Habsburgs, it bears witness to the imperial past of the former Danube monarchy, like hardly any other building, and is therefore one of the most important sites in Vienna. It has been the seat of the Austrian federal president since 1946. In addition, in the huge palace complex, you will find a Congress Center, the National Library, the Spanish Riding School, and numerous museums, including the Imperial Apartments with the Szene Museum and the Court Silver Collection. The Hofburg Imperial Palace itself was originally built in the 13th century. The Gothic castle chapel, in which the Vienna Boys Choir perform masses on Sundays, is still reminiscent of the medieval castle. Over the centuries, the Imperial Palace was expanded again and again by the respective emperors. The numerous extensions gave the mighty building complex, which consists of 18 wings, 19 courtyards, and 2,600 rooms, its current appearance. The Habsburg Empire was ruled from here for almost 700 years. Until the end of the monarchy in 1918, the imperial family lived in the Imperial Palace. The Hofburg is open daily from September to June between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., and in July and August from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Adult admission is 10.50 euros, and this includes the audio guide. Public transport lines which take you directly to the Hofburg. Underground, U3 Orange, alight at Herrengasse. Trams 1, 2, D and 71, alight at Bergring, and by bus. 1A and 2A, alight at Hofburg. For classical music fans, a night at the opera is one of the best ways to spend an elegant evening. As a matter of fact, the Vienna State Opera powers world-famous opera singers, the world's best opera orchestra, and the best opera choir. Its repertoire comprises around 50 operas and 20 ballets per season, 1st September to 30th June. However, performances at this venue sell fast and are typically 98% sold out. Book your trip between 1st September and 30th June. The Opera House is closed during July and August. While a seat in the stalls can cost a staggering 150 euros, if you don't mind queuing for a couple of hours before a show, you can buy standing room only tickets to watch the opera for a very accessible 4 euros. Take Vienna Metro U1, U2, or U4 to Karlsplatz. Alternatively, take tramways 1, 2, D, 62 or 71 to Opernring, or take bus 59A to Wien Opera. The Schönbrunn Palace is the most beautiful and significant piece of architecture in Vienna. The place offers a great deal of art and history that is surrounded by spectacular buildings that make up the Schönbrunn Palace. This particular piece of history is what makes Vienna so spectacular and is absolutely gorgeous inside and out. Additionally, the place has been well kept over the years, allowing visitors to take a step back in time and take in all that the Schönbrunn Palace has to offer. You will be able to see a great deal of art that shows off different styles and art pieces. When you walk through the Schönbrunn Palace's garden, no matter which direction you look, you will be able to see endless pathways, lush green grass, and towering trees on both sides, creating the perfect view. On the other hand, when you stand at the obelisk gates, you will be able to see the grand grounds that extend all the way to the arch. This gorgeous monument sits perfectly at the top of a 60-meter hill, graced with a stunning golden eagle that represents the labors of Hercules. The palace is open daily from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., except on December 24th and 31st, when it closes early at 2 p.m. Its entrance fee is 16 euros for adults, 14.50 euros for students, aged 19 to 25, and disabled persons, 11.50 euros for children, aged 6 to 18, and free admission for children under 6. Vienna is known for its rich history and culture, and one of its most popular attractions is the Belvedere Palace and Galleries. If you're planning a trip to Vienna, this is one place that should definitely be on your itinerary. The Belvedere Palace is divided into 2 building units. The upper and the lower Belvedere both were constructed on behalf of Prince Eugene of Savoy in the 18th century. Between the 2 buildings, you will find a huge garden area. The palace served as the Viennese summer residence for the successful commander Prince Eugene of Savoy. Both the impressive palace and the beautiful landscaped garden have been built in the Baroque style. Today, big parts of those 2 buildings and the palace gardens are open for visitors. A permanent exhibition, which shows mainly Austrian artworks, is located in the upper Belvedere. The lower Belvedere presents changing exhibitions of various art periods and artists. Directions to the upper Belvedere Palace. By tram, take the D line to the Schloss Belvedere, stop right outside the palace. By subway, U1, get out at Hauptbahnhof station and walk around 15 minutes to the palace, or catch the 18O or D trams. By bus, 13A, get out at Momsengasse and take a short 10-minute walk or catch trams from nearby Hauptbahnhof. Peterskirche, or St. Peter's Church, is a Baroque Roman Catholic parish church in Vienna, Austria. It was transferred in 1970 by the Archbishop of Vienna, Franz Cardinal Cane, to the priests of the Opus Dei. The oldest church building, of which nothing remains today, dates back to the early Middle Ages, and there is speculation that it could be the oldest church in Vienna. That Roman church was built on the site of a Roman encampment. It is open Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Peterskirche Church itself is free to visit. As a tourist, you should not miss a visit of the Rathausplatz, Vienna. Nearly all the year, you can find here some special events like the Film Festival, Circus, Christkindlmarkt, Christmas Market, Wiener Eisstrom, Ice Skating Rink, and some other seasonal events. In the summer months, July and August, you can find a lot of different stands from the regional restaurants at the Rathausplatz, Vienna. If you don't find a place to enjoy the different local and international food, then just walk a few meters to the shady and a bit more peaceful Rathauspark and sit down on a bench. At nightfall, around 21 o'clock, You can also watch every evening some opera or concert recordings at a large screen, which is directly in front of the town hall. There are also a lot of seats, and you can enjoy the open-air cinema feeling free of charge. The Ringstrasse is a circular boulevard that surrounds Vienna's historical center, separating the Hofburg and Stephansdom districts from the rest of the city. It is home to a large number of the city's most symbolic architectural works. The Ringstrasse is divided into different sections of road, which form the ring around the city. Stubenring, Parkring, Schubertring, Kartner Ring, Opernring, Bergring, Dr. Karl Renner Ring, Dr. Karl Lueger Ring, and Staatenring. Ringstrasse is one of the most beautiful streets in the city and the location of many of Vienna's most important tourist attractions. If you don't fancy walking down the boulevard, another option is to explore it by tram. A beautiful landscaped park to one side of the Hofburg Palace complex. Go when the roses are in bloom. Central Park famous for its lovely rose garden. Go early for people-free photos of the flower beds. Also home to the Theseus Temple, Sissi Memorial, Grillparzer Memorial, and a couple of cafes. Opened in 1823, the Volksgarten owes its existence to the exuberance of Napoleon's army. The French emperor entered Vienna in 1809 during the part of the Napoleonic conflicts known as the War of the Fifth Coalition. Although the Volksgarten forms a triangle between one end of Heldenplatz, the Burgtheater, and the Rathausplatz, many people think of it as the Rosegarten part that runs parallel to the Ring Boulevard. Huge beds of tiered roses fill the sides of the Rose Garden. Tall bushes at the back and smaller standards and bushes near the front, and each a different variety. The flowers form a kaleidoscope of color in the late spring and summer, and each rosebush carries a personal dedication to a lover, family member, or similar. If that's not enough roses for you, there are more rose beds away from the edges, albeit mixed in with a few box hedges and similar. The opening hours of the Volksgarten are usually from the month of April till October, from 6 to 22 o'clock, and from the month of November till March from 7 to 17:30 o'clock. Entrances are available from Heldenplatz, Burgtheater, and Ringstrasse across from the Austrian Parliament. A church with plenty to offer the visitor, Karlskirche, St. Charles Church, has Baroque beauty, classical music, and a rare chance to get up close to the workmanship of the original artisans who painted the dome. Unlike many of Vienna's great churches, Karlskirche can be approached from a distance as you walk across the open area before it. The exterior architecture impresses with its great dome and the two giant columns. The latter's reliefs and golden imperial eagles offer a clue to the history of the church, which Emperor Charles VI built in the early 18th century and named after St. Charles Borromeo. You need a ticket to enter outside of church needs and events, but it's very much worth doing so. It's €8 for adults, €4 for students and young people, and free for children under 10. The artist Friedensreich Hundertwasser was very busy in many areas. In architecture, he was considered as a rebel. His vision was the free architecture for all, without standards, specifications, and straight lines. If you are a fan of exceptional architecture, and if you like buildings in the style of Antoni Gaudi, you should not miss this highlight in Vienna with the German name Hundertwasser House. Unfortunately, the Hundertwasser House is not located close to a metro station. To reach the nearest metro station, Landstrasse Weinmitt, you have to walk about 900 meters. If you prefer to avoid this walk, you should ride with the Metro U1 or U4 to the station Schönbrunn Palace. Change there to the tramline one towards Prater Hauptallee. The tram line one stops approximately 100 meters in front of the Hundertwasser house at the station Hetzgasse. From there, you just have to go approximately 100 meters into driving direction along the Lohengasse to the corner Kegelgasse, and then you have arrived. The admission to the museum costs approximately €11. Even if you do not visit the museum, you have the opportunity to see a bit of the interior design. The Danube Tower is a Viennese landmark, a technical masterpiece, and shines in a stylish reinterpretation of the 1960s. The express lift takes you up to the viewing platform 150 meters up in the air, with an unforgettable 360 degrees panorama. This makes the Danube Tower a popular destination and the perfect starting point for anyone who wants to discover the city. A trip to the Danube Tower is something not to be missed. Situated in one of the city's biggest and most beautiful parks, the Danube Park, it can be seen from afar, inviting visitors to discover its secrets. First, your gaze wanders upward, up the tower to its distinctive top. Once up there, it roams into the distance, to the margins of the city and even far beyond. These changes in perspective make a visit to the Danube Tower an unforgettable experience. Learn more about its history, look forward to culinary highlights, and enjoy the thrill at dizzy heights. The Austrian Parliament building was constructed in the 19th century in classic Greek Revival style and is one of the largest and most important buildings on the Ringstrasse. Construction of the enormous neoclassical style building began in 1874 and took 10 years to complete. The Parliament building was designed to resemble classic Greek architecture in true historicist style, in homage to ancient Greece as the birthplace of democracy. Amongst the building's impressive 1,600 rooms are two chamber halls connected by a large door, where the two houses of Austrian Parliament, the National Council and Federal Council, convene. The Austrian Parliament takes its job as a servant of the people very seriously. For example, you can turn up after registering and get a free tour of the newly renovated Parliament building in English that takes you from breathtaking historical rooms into the sleek modern National Assembly. Entrance fee is €5 for adults, 2.50 euros students under 25 and seniors, and free for children under 6. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share our videos. Your assistance will enable us to produce additional informative guides.